Well, and Nigel Jackson, I'll be your counselor today, and before we get started, I'm just going to go over my disclosure statement, just to let you know about how this works and like how I approach things and how actually like I deal with like your different situations that we actually talk about here, and just a couple rights that you'll have. So, I'm very new to this. I've just been working here, getting my bachelor's degree in psychology this year, and so I'm very new, so I'm a little bit, I don't have that much experience, but it's a little bit. And just for your rights, just know that everything that you talk about will be kept with me, and I will do everything in my power to keep everything that we talk about just here with us. So just know that you're safe here. And also, the only thing I have to report is if that you harm, like you're threatening to harm yourself or you're harm to others. So just know that I do have to report that. And also know that I'm actually recording for a class, so a little bit of the session will be in, like, it will be shown to a class. So if you feel comfortable with that, then just let me know. If you don't, then let me know, and we'll go over this and find a solution to actually fix that. But if you agree with that, then you can sign here. If not, just you accept these rights.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, this one. Alright, thank you. So Nigel, so what brings you here today?
Just in person, different things that have been going on, stuff like that. Yeah, struggling with organization, some kind of situation right now where I'm very pressed for time. And feel like I'm very tired all the time and stressed because I don't get enough sleep, but then I don't get enough sleep because I'm always doing stuff. I'm always doing stuff because I don't organize earlier. But then on the other hand, some things I do handle well, like getting materials together for a class that just had 100 on the test, and then on the other hand, presentation, which hadn't really understood the topic since it had been given to us, and now I'm kind of at the last minute where it's like, yeah, just gonna kind of put this out there and hope, whatever happens, happens. So that's kind of what's on my mind.
So you're saying that you're a little disorganized at the moment, and
At times.
And you're very pressed for time, so a lot of things are kind of just collecting up on you, and just like they're all at once, and it's kind of hard to just how you manage your time well. And are you saying you're feeling stressed about these things? Like, is stress a big factor in this?
Somewhat.
And so why exactly are you stressed again?
Well, I think if my group message recalls correctly, I might be the only one who's not done yet tonight, so I might have to stay up for a while, and then on the other hand, get up pretty early for some obligations athletically. So it always feels like there's always something else that's got to be done. But I really just feel like, as a college athlete, you have any time on your hands. It was like it's always, I heard that a while back when I first entered college, when my teammates was telling me, like, from this day forward, every day your life is planned for you. And that was true. So, yeah.
So how are you coping with this, all of the things that are adding up on you, collecting up on you?
Usually just try to sit through and worry about what's next, what's important next, what's most important, and handle things like along those lines. I definitely think my time management in the short term could have been better. I definitely think I didn't make the best use of my weekend, but at the same time I have the obligations of my weekend that had to be addressed. So it happens.
Okay, so how was your weekend? Like, what exactly did you do this weekend?
I travel back home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, travel back home for Easter weekend.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to expand on your travel back home?
Well, I travel back home to Atlanta. Um, got to see some familiar faces, eat food, a lot of food from home that they don't have here.
Mm-hmm.
Food was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Food was really good.
What about home cooked meals?
Food was extremely good.
So I noticed when you started talking about your home, you start to smile and you start to become happy. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Home is where the heart is.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's no place like home. No Dorothy pun intended, but there's no place like home. Charlotte's nice, but it's not Atlanta. You've been there since '93. You don't. Nothing quite compares to it. The whole family, both sides, mom and dad, I-85, Atlanta kids. Nobody's outside the city really.
Nice. So I see that you traveled back home this weekend and you had home cooked meals, great food, and also like Atlanta is just a big part of you, and it seems as if you're very close with your family. It seems like you are very tight and y'all seem to do everything, a lot of things together. Is that correct?
Very true, very true. My brother, older brother, is more like not the typical. We don't have the typical brother relationship where as a younger brother, I always try to do things on my own and not pay him any attention. Quite the contrary, I actually consult him a lot for his advice on different topics or on anything that I might need help with, because I trust his advice and know that he's typically been there, and most important of all, that he is looking out for my best interest when he gives me advice. It's not one of these things where I slipped up with this and I feel you should too, learn the lessons. I struggle here in this aspect of my life, so I'm going to give you this advice because I feel that you should benefit from it and not have to go through the same things I went through. We, at times, it's, a brother, older brother, younger brother type relationship. At times when I was younger, it was even father-son.
Mm-hmm.
He would really take after me. And even just like, two really good friends growing up. Anytime I'm around him, we laugh and joke like we never missed a beat, like I haven't been, it's not like I hadn't been home since, for months on end and things along those lines. So it's a very interesting relationship we have. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That sounds pretty nice. Is he a big brother?
Mm-hmm.
Big brother?
6'6", I guess would be big.
Oh, nice. Okay. And it seems like you two have been through a lot together. Mm-hmm. And also I noticed that you said that you were talking about the struggling aspect, like him giving you advice during like when you were struggling. So what does that mean exactly?
How do I explain that? Well, for one, my adjustment to college. When I was entering college as a freshman, he had already gotten his undergrad and was working on his master's by the time I was entering school myself. Pretty funny for our parents to have two kids in college at the same time, 7 years apart, which would either mean one's very successful or one's very unsuccessful with college and just wants to keep trying again until they get it right. Fortunate for us, it was because my brother wanted to keep going back. Just the whole thing of not knowing college, having never been there before. There were a lot of talks and him telling me how to make the most out of my time and how to get around on college campuses and academically consulting with your professors and advisors to let them know that you know whether or not you're making the highest grade in that class, that if they see you putting forth the effort, that always pays off. Different things along those lines, you know, socially, how to handle yourself. As far as an athlete, you know, knowing when to show your face at social gatherings or parties such as that, and how to balance the line of, you know, partying too much and then, you know, not being social at all. It's not healthy to just be out all the time, and it's not healthy on the same end to never go out at all, to have some kind of social dynamic with those who are around you. There's a lot of things, and remaining true to who you are as a person, especially when you go to college. That was some good advice he gave me to never change no matter what's going on around you, even though you're going to be away from home for the first time. And there are a lot of people that come to college and don't know who they are before they leave, and they just kind of get swept up into the crowd, into the wave. And when that happens, they can return home from Christmas a completely different person they were than when they left in August. You never really want to see that happen to me. Always they tell me about that.
So your brother would give you advice about just situations that he's been through and just how to adjust to the college life and like just transition from high school to college. Is that pretty much it? And also like just how to remain yourself and just pretty much be sociable, but not too sociable where you travel off to the wrong path and the wrong crowd to change who you are. So how did you adapt to from the transition from high school to college? Like how did that go for you?
Well, to start out, when I first started out at Belmont Abbey, coming in, I stuck to the things that a lot of those people around me, those family influences, were in my ear about. You know, staying on top of your schoolwork, you know, not being that person that has to come home at Christmas and can't go back to school because you flunked out. Staying on top of your schoolwork, making sure from a basketball standpoint, because my father coaches and would, you know, give me advice in the basketball realm, and my brother as well, that it's very important that, you know, you have a good start to your freshman year, academically and athletically. So that means athletically, working very hard, anything preseason, getting extra time in the gym on your own, you know, working on your craft, working on your skills as often as possible. Even though that may mean you're out less than a lot of other people, you might not be at all the, you know, functions, gatherings, and things along those lines, but you're setting the foundation for something that when it's set, it's going to help you for a while once you go further down the line. And that adjustment, I just held on to those words and utilized those when I got up to college and was on my own and was wondering, okay, well, what's next? What do I do? They're not, my parents not here, mom and dad's not here, my brother's not here. All right, well, what do I do next? And those answers came from the advice that they had given me before I left. I felt very comfortable with the decisions I made.
Right, and I noticed, like, as you were talking, you would take deep breaths. Does that mean anything?
No, I was taught a while back when I was in high school, and I was selected to win the Naismith Flourish Award, which is an award given to Atlanta area high school athletes who excel on the court and off the court. During the process, one of the things to be selected to be selected as a finalist, not even win the award, you had to go downtown Atlanta and interview with a panel from Newell Rubbermaid, and I think the Atlanta Dream WNBA team. The owner of the team was on the panel as well. You had to have an interview process, and our college counselor at my high school, she spoke with me and sat me down before the interview process. And I had never really been in an interview before, and I asked her, do you have any advice for me as far as how to handle questions and handle myself in an interview panel? She just said anytime you feel that you're going to, she said it's very important that you don't use error and like a lot, words along those lines. So anytime somebody asks you a question, if you don't know the answer off the top of the head, you just repeat, okay, well that's a very good question. Collect your thoughts. That it's better to take your time and be more deliberate with your speech than to just rush things and stumble through them and not sound as articulate or intelligent as you truly have the capability to be. So that's kind of why sometimes when people ask me questions or things along those lines, I seem to go at a moderate pace or tone.
So your deep breathing is just a way to help you collect your thoughts and to just get everything together before speaking again?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And with the deep breathing, do you find that to show up in other type of situations, such as maybe when you get like antsy and you need to
Very antsy. Sometimes if I'm driving, I don't know where I'm going and got music blaring and people trying to talk to me. It helps to just take a deep breath. And then you slow everything down. Then you focus on what's the most important thing right now. That's deciding whether or not you're supposed to turn here, drive down the street. Probably be a little more important than turning down the Migos on the radio. So it does help in other aspects as well.
So it's a coping mechanism to just pretty much just slow things down and to relax yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. So I will change the subject a little bit. Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna go back and talk about your family, because I know we got off the subject a little bit. But with your parents and your family, how was your relationship with your parents? And I know you and your brother are very close. What about your parents?
My parents collectively, or my mom by herself, my dad by himself, or both of them together?
Whichever one you feel is best.
Well, I'm telling you, both of my parents. Each of them gives me, something. They each have different strengths in their personalities that I draw from time to time when I need them. Sometimes my mom comes off as being very fiery and feisty and kind of a gunslinger, come from the hip. But her intentions are always meant for your well-being, if that makes sense. She's always means well for her children, and sometimes that'll, in situations where she sees, somebody's not doing right by her kids when we were coming up and things along those lines. Like, Mom, why are you acting out like that? And she wouldn't necessarily be able to explain it, but her actions always displayed that she meant well and wanted to see us treated just as well as anybody else's children were treated. And that meant a lot to me to see that, because there are a lot of parents out there, a lot of people who don't care enough. They don't care as much, or they'll say it with their words and their actions will say something completely different. My father, on the other side, he's very diplomatic with his words and his approach. Like the way I'm speaking to you right now is pretty much a direct correlation from the way that he himself will probably speak in an interview or in a sit-down setting with another person. He just has a great way with his words, and a lot of times when I have been in situations where I needed his help, he would always have a way to make a very strong statement with his words without offending somebody. And offending to a point where, foul language or curse words, he could do without that but still get his point across. And that I respected and learned how to use, because there would be different situations in my life where I've been in where, lashing out and just throwing a couple, explicit words at somebody right there on the spot would trigger a fight, or, trigger something that could cost me severely of what it is that I want, you know, the reputation that I have, the character that I have. But instead, learning from him, learn how to express myself and stand up, you know, express yourself, stand up for yourself without necessarily having to be the type of person that just everybody knows. I'm like, all right, well, he's going to fly off the handle and do this and that. But instead, being able to, you know, calm down, collect your thoughts, and then still speak up is it's something that I've always admired about him.
Yeah, I was about to just say that you seem like you really admire and you respect your parents. And with your mother, like, she may come off in a certain type of way to others, but it's only for the best, or what you feel is the best for her children. So, and how does that make you feel, just that she is willing to step out the comfort zone and just stand up for her children, how does that make you feel? Like, how does that play a role in your life?
It makes me feel very proud. You know, it's my mom. She's always there for me. It makes me feel very proud just knowing that she's always, you know, no matter what, we may not, you know, due to being off at college and being busy all the time, we may not talk all the time, every minute, every day, but I know that she's always looking out for me and wishes best for me, and it's never going to change. I do appreciate that. I do.
Alright. Well, our time's wrapping up, so I'm just gonna summarize this whole session that we had, and I'll start with the beginning. When you first sat down and you started talking to me, you were talking about how a lot of your schoolwork is starting to add up and collect up on you, and it's just your time isn't very too organized, and it's kind of getting stressful, and then you're starting to stress about things, and a little bit of anxiety's kicking in, it seems like. And also with your brother, you have a very strong relationship. Let me backtrack a little bit. And this weekend, you went to Atlanta, you went back home, and from your emotions and from your expression, it seemed that home is where the heart is. That's your foundation. You love that, and you respect that, and it's just it's your happy place. It seems as is, because you're smiling right now about it. So obviously that's something that makes you feel really good, and you're proud to come from that. And also with your family's relationship, it seems that you just have a big brother and you have your mom and dad, and I can tell from the way you are talking about them with just enthusiasm and how you start to speak about them that you love them, like y'all have a strong family bond, and it seems like there's nothing that's ever going to break that. Like y'all, all three of y'all are just so close that it's just it's unbreakable, and that's nothing's going to ever mess that up. And also with your brother, he's like a big brother. It's not the fact of just trying to be better or be less than your brother, but it's more of just y'all two coming together and just, I guess just being there for one another. It's more you're taking advice from each other, and you're helping each other get through lives and there's different situations that y'all have been through, and what you're going through, what he has been through. And also with your parents, your mom, she's she's more, it seems like she says she's more she's very opinionated, and she firmly believes in she strongly believes in what she stands up for what she believes in, and she's going to do whatever she can to protect her two children, and that makes you feel very proud, makes you feel very appreciative of what she'll do for you. And then your dad, he's very diplomatic, and there's a lot of truth in his words, and it's never going to be words that's not going to speak to you. He's a very wise man, so it seems that you really listen to him, and you know what he's talking about, because what he is speaking to you is truthful, and you'll be able to take that and go with it, and it'll help you in the long run. And so that's pretty much everything I got from this session. So is that does that sum up what we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and next time, I can't wait to talk to you next time to see what you have on your mind, and maybe we can expand on a couple of these subjects that we actually talked about. We can go further in depth with your relationships and how things are coming together with you getting the schoolwork done, if that's okay. Alright, thank you for your time.